So the second chord is going to be one of my favorite chords, the E flat minor seventh chord with an added 4, just like we did for the D minor, or the D minor seventh with the added 4. So this E flat minor seventh with the added 4 is going to be E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and D flat. And this is really, it's actually just moving up all of the notes from the D minor seventh with the added 4, and you're just going up a half step. So you're going up from this to this. So again, the notes for the E flat minor seventh with the added 4 are going to be E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and D flat. And these are going to be the chords that we're going to be playing for the licks. So I'm only going to be using these chords just to make it as simple as possible. And yeah, because it'll just be two chords that we'll be going between. It'll sound really cool when you resolve from the E flat minor seventh to the D minor seventh, or you just go from chord to chord. So over this E flat minor seventh, you can also use the E flat Dorian scale to solo on it, because for the D flat minor seventh, you use the D Dorian, which was also all white keys, which was also just starting from D in the C major scale. And now we're going to be using the E flat Dorian for this E flat minor seventh with the added 4. So it's going to be E flat. This is going to be the E flat Dorian scale. So E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat. So the reason why I'm using this chord, like E flat minor seventh, which is like it's kind of random, right? And with the D minor seventh is because the D minor seventh is a chord that you really know. You know this by now. But for the E flat minor seventh, you really probably don't, because this has 5 flats. I mean, you're playing all of the black keys, and it's just going to be really unfamiliar to you. But even in addition to that, also, the fingering for the E flat Dorian, or also the D flat major scale, because it's just like the D minor seventh, where you can play C major over it. With the E flat minor seventh, you can play the D flat major over it. But that's neither here nor there. That's just some theory stuff that you can look at later. But for this scale, the fingering that you can use is really, really helpful, because you can just play with these 4 fingers right here. These 4 fingers will go down, so B flat will have your 4th finger, and then your middle finger will be A flat, and then you'll have G flat, and then F. And then your fingers will just go down here, so you'll be playing with the middle finger, pointer finger, and thumb again when you go to E flat, D flat, and C. So you can just keep doing this 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. And I don't want to go too fast for you, but that's just, once you get comfortable with it, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then you can start going, and it just rolls off of your fingers. It's like, ooh. I love this key, and I want to I want to express like my emotions about this, because when I feel this, when I hear this, which I'll teach you exactly what I'm playing, by the way, in lessons, but in these lessons actually. So, but when I'm playing in this key, I don't know why this key just, for me personally, it has like a really good feeling about it. And it's really weird, because this is an aside, but for like classical players, you tend to play in a lot of sharp keys. So you'll play in like A major, D major, or E major, which have like 3 sharps, 2 sharps, or 4 sharps. But then in jazz, I don't know. Maybe it's just me who tends to migrate towards those keys, but I tend to play in a lot of flat keys. Yeah, and so I just love this scale. So this is so we're playing the E flat minor seventh with the added 4. We got our E flat Dorian here with our cool fingerings, because we got our 4 put down 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 3 fingers, and you can just practice that on your own. Then something else that we can do is we can play the rootless. So just like you do for the D minor, you know, you play the rootless from the third. So you go D, E, F. From this third, you play every other note to get your F-A-C chord, F-A-C-E chord. But you can also do the same thing with E flat. So I'll play this E flat minor 7th, and then my third is going to be G flat right here. And then I'll play every other note in this scale though. So it's not going to be the white key scale like you were doing before with the D Dorian. So you're going to go. So these notes are going to be G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. So G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. And now you're going to have that same voicing that you've been playing like since the beginner lessons, and all of the 3, 5, 7, 9 voicings too. So that's something that you can do. You can, just like the D minor 7th where we took this voicing, move it down, and I'm moving it down within the major scale that I'm in. So all white keys here. I can do the same thing here. So this will take a little bit of time, but once you get familiar with the scale, then you can go. Oh, feel that? So that is the rootless right there. So it's so this is going to be your rootless for this chord, and you know, I'll go into everything else that you need to know in the next lesson. So we're going to actually start off on some licks, and I'm just going to solo and show you the tips and tricks that I use over these two chords, the E flat minor 7th with an added 4 and the D minor 7th with the added 4 too.